Okay, when you first open Soundbooth, this is what it looks like. Basically, you can have files in here, and we're going to see the files showing in the timeline on the right. So all we do to open a file, we can either go to File and Open, or we can just simply double click inside this area here, and we'll choose a couple of songs. So I've got two here I'm going to choose. I'm just going to use Control to click on both of them. There's my two songs. Now you can see the first one, Price Tag, is loaded in, and basically if I click on the play button, you can see that the playhead starts to move across and we can hear the song. Down the bottom here on the left hand side, you can see that's the amount of time that's played. So if I wanted to say advance it just to 10 seconds, I can just drag my mouse here, and if I want to be accurate, I can go exactly to 10 seconds, so I know that I'm at the 10-second mark, and again I can play from there and my timeline continues to move on. Okay, so what we can do is we can basically go to certain sections and we can cut them out, we can move them around and so on. You can see at the moment that the whole thing is about 3 minutes and 40 seconds across, if I look over here. But what I can do is I can zoom in on different bits. So this bit at the top here is basically the zoom bar. So if I grab the corner of that and drag it, you can see that as I make the top bit smaller, the bottom bit expands out. Okay, and there's my playhead. I can move that across. You can hear it as I drag it across, it makes the noise. And if I go in even closer, these are the actual sound waves. So you can see at the beginning of the song there's a slight pause before it starts. If I go to the very beginning, hit play again, now if you zoom in on like this, it means that you can do things quite accurately. So perhaps I want to get rid of this bit here. All I'm doing is holding down my mouse and dragging so it goes white. If I simply hit the delete button now, watch, it removes that piece of music, that section. So when I start off now, the beginning of it starts straight in there. If I didn't like that, I can always do Control and Z to put it back again. The other option I've got is that I can actually take sections out. So if I wanted to take this section here, just dragged, I can cut that one out using Control and X. That's cut out, and if I wanted to put it somewhere else, so I'll move over to here, put my playhead over here. If I now do Control and V, it pastes that section in, so I can actually rearrange sections within the actual timeline. The other thing I can do is I could save selection. So if I wanted to select all of this and I wanted to make that into a separate track, I can right click on it and I can say save selection as, and I can come into, here's my folder, and I'm going to call this one, I'll call it small price tag, because it's a smaller section of the same song, and hit save, and you can see it's telling me this is what it's going to be like. I hit save here, and now I've got in my files window here, I've got an extra one which says small price tag, and if I see now that's the one that's loaded, if I double click it, we've only got a small selection. Yeah, about 3 seconds worth. That's 3.8 seconds, just a tiny little clip. So what that allows us to do is to build up a collection of clips. Now what we want to do is to be able to add some of our own in as well, so that's where it's useful to be able to record. So down here there's a little record button. If I open the record dialog box, I get this window up, and you can see as I'm talking over on here, it recognizes the volume of my voice. All I need to do to make my own is to start clicking here. So I could say, click here. Good morning, this is Loretto Radio saying have a great day today. As soon as I hit stop, I can hit close, and there's my untitled recording up here, so I can play it back again. I could even rename it if I wanted to by clicking on it, but if I come up here and play, good morning, this is Loretto Radio saying have a great day today. So you can see it's very quick and easy to make up your own bits of recording. What we want to be able to do is to put the whole lot together to create your radio show. So what you want to do, once you've got the clips in here that you want to use, you may have edited some of them down to make them smaller, you might have recorded some of your own, so you have a collection in here. You come up to this little box and you say create a new multi-track file. Now that just gives us an empty one now, but what that allows us to do is to drag any of the clips we got over here and place them on the timeline. So if I grab that one and drag that one on, I think I've dragged the same one twice actually, so I don't want that one, so I'm going to delete that one, get rid of it, and the one that I just recorded myself I'll drag in, and you can see that once they're on the timeline I can move them around. Now in the same way, if I want to go in and edit any of these, I can right click on them and I can edit that clip, and I can go in back into the detailed view again, and I can change things around and highlight and select. And if I want to fade in, fade out, these are the faders. So if I drag this, you can see what happens to the volume. It means that this track will be quiet and then it'll get louder and louder and louder. And if I want to fade out the other end, I drag this one, and again it fades the track out. When I'm happy, I hit back. It takes me back to my multi-track view. So now if I move my my playhead, I can click play here. And you can see quite quickly how it works. So the last thing I probably want to do is to actually save it. So I can do File, Save As, and I can output it in different formats, but the one that you're going to want to save in is going to be MP3. So you choose MP3, you'll give it a name like Radio Show. Now you can do this as many times as you want, so you can have different versions of it, that's fine. But then when you hit save and hit save again, that will create one track for you. There you go, that's the radio show. So that's basically what you need to do for this task. Good luck.